Today, familia, our story begins in the state of Washington, but tragically ends in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be discussing the beautiful young spirit, Miss Marayna Rodgers. Marayna, born in the state of Washington on February 27th in the year 2000, grew up in what was described as a loving, nurturing family with her mom, Jamie Rogers. Although based on my research, I believe she grew up in a single mom household, she still had a very loving relationship with her dad. She grew up pretty athletic, playing soccer and played on her school's basketball team as well. Marayna was shaped into a young lady who valued family, and an emphasis was placed on taking her education seriously, which showed up in her goals later on down the line in her young adult life. She was taught to remain consistent in chasing her goals and understanding that it took hard work to get to anywhere she wanted to be in life. She was also a big sister to her little brother, playing her part as a positive role model for him. She went to Lincoln High School, where her academic achievements really shone through, as it was reported that she was involved in the debate team, student council, and participated in extracurricular activities. She was also a member of the National Honor Society, demonstrating leadership as she contributed to community service, demonstrating her passion for social awareness, and displaying a great sense of empathy for any of the issues that arose locally, but also globally. In 2018, Marayna graduated as valedictorian, making all her school faculty and family super proud of her. She continued her academic journey by studying at University of Washington. Her major was in nursing science and she minored in psychology. And this all spoke to her passion for helping and understanding different people, wanting to tend to their needs and assisting in their health of several aspects, whether it had been physical, emotional, mental, or all of the above. During her time at the university, she received several academic awards and scholarships. All her schoolmates and professors said she was an innovative thinker, driven, intelligent, and they could see her making her mark in the nursing field. In 2021, Marayna graduated with honors from the university, once again exceeding her expectations of those who already believed in her, and exceeding even her own expectations she had for herself. Now, according to Marayna's Facebook account, I do know that unfortunately both of her parents did pass away. I'm not sure when, so I'm not sure if they got to witness all of Marayna's educational feats, but nonetheless, I'm sure they were in spirit just as proud of her as they were in the physical realm. According to my research, after graduating from university, Marayna worked as a scrub nurse at Overlake Hospital Medical Center, became a registered nurse working at Providence Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane Valley, and a field agent at PHP Agency. And then, according to her loved ones, she went on to work as a medical assistant at Washington State. Now, in addition to the loss of her parents, Marayna unfortunately lost a few friends throughout her life as well, and when it came to one in particular, there was some guy on Facebook who thought it'd be okay to troll her about it and talk shit to her. In this screenshot, you can see her even being so angry at the message that she even offered to see whoever his girlfriend was about it. She was clearly grieving, and here comes some troll stressing her out. And life has a funny way of presenting juxtapositions like this, where on one end you could be enjoying all the fruits of your labor, while on the other end being handed lemons and dealing with unsweetened lemonade. However, there was someone who came along and added a shimmer of light to those areas of darkness for Marayna. She reportedly met her boyfriend in college, and they had been dating for 3 years. And it's said that they spoke about planning to be married after they graduated from school. They apparently had a reputation for sharing a loving, mutually respectful bond between each other. As beautiful and smart Marayna was, she had no issues with making friends, and they would do things together like girls' nights, dinner dates, and travel together. One of her friends was a young lady named Sakari Harnden. There isn't too much backstory on how the two met, but it appeared they had been fond of each other according to Marayna's social media, showing the two of them hanging out and just having a good old girls' time. Now, at some point, either before December or during the first few days of December, the girls had made plans to go on a trip to Las Vegas. Marayna looked forward to doing what most folks do when going to Vegas: go clubbing, maybe hit up a casino or two, sip on some drinks, turning up, just having a great time. The plan was for Marayna to link up with 19-year-old Sakari and Sakari's ex-boyfriend, 27-year-old Comanche, on Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. However, once she reached Vegas, Marayna's loved ones hadn't heard from her, which wasn't like her at all. Marayna always kept in touch with her loved ones, and she certainly was sure to check in on her fur babies, her two pups. With her silence being out of character and her family growing worried, come December 7th, they put a missing persons report out for her, along with a missing poster that detailed her physical description, including what her tattoos look like, and a number provided for people to contact with any information that will lead to finding Marayna. Marayna's boyfriend's sister, a young lady named Bethany Morgan, had made a Facebook post on December 10th about Marayna's disappearance, and she provided some receipts and photos on the post. She gave a brief timeline about what was happening as far as she knew, starting with Marayna's disappearing just before 3 a.m. on December 5th, and then detailing how she was reported missing on the 7th. Bethany explained how Marayna was in Vegas with her friends, and her phone and location had been turned off after Marayna had been sharing her location for a while. When her location was turned off, it had been turned off before Marayna had reached her destination, which made her loved ones immediately worried. Now, at the time, according to Marayna's friend Sakari, she said Marayna had gotten into an Uber and left her, so she hadn't seen or heard from Marayna at all after she allegedly got into this Uber. Feeling confused and needing the extra attention on this scary situation, Bethany went online and pleaded with the public, asking if anyone had any information that could lead to Marayna being found to please contact her and her family. She asked people to please share the post and express how much she, her brother, and their family missed and loved Marayna so much. At this point, Las Vegas police are involved, and they're treating this case as a missing persons case. A couple days later, on December 12th, there was still no updates on 23-year-old Marayna's whereabouts. Bethany updated her Facebook post to state that Marayna was still missing, but she also shed some light onto that whole Uber story that Sakari gave. You see, Sakari told Bethany that she was the one who ordered the Uber for Marayna that late night, early morning when Marayna was last heard from. However, I guess she didn't bank on Bethany doing her own investigations, because Bethany said they contacted Uber, and Uber said nope. They cleared that right on up because there was no record of any rides being booked by Sakari, or by Marayna for that matter. So now at this point, Sakari looking real suspect because she'd been caught in a lie. Additionally, Bethany said that Sakari was actually refusing to cooperate with the police about Marayna's disappearance. Now, if that's supposedly your friend, why wouldn't you want to cooperate with the police to help find your friend? That's very, very strange, and the police thought so too. Now, Bethany posted another update to her post that had everyone who knew of this situation shook. She informed everyone that Sakari had been arrested and charged with Marayna's kidnapping, uploading a screenshot photo of Sakari's arrest record. And then a few days after that, she made another update to the Facebook post telling everyone how Comanche was also arrested in connection to Marayna's disappearance. So she asked her Facebook audience to please just keep sharing the information online to help bring Marayna home, because at that point, Marayna's whereabouts and her well-being was still unaccounted for. Detectives on the case said they had suspected foul play. They were able to gather enough information and evidence to make an arrest. Police secured a search warrant and tracked both Chance and Sakari's movements through cell tower data, noting that the two appeared to travel together from the hotel to a liquor store where they met Marayna. Investigators reported that all three of their cell phones used the same tower at 1:21 a.m., which would suggest to detectives that Sakari, Marayna, and Chance were all traveling together in the same vehicle. Police obtained surveillance video that showed the gray Mercedes they were all in, pulling into the liquor store parking lot where they stopped to purchase alcohol and return to the vehicle. All three phones utilized a different tower at 2:18 a.m. Then, Marayna's phone stopped working at approximately 3:35 a.m. Chance and Sakari's phones were tracked to a nearby tower less than 15 minutes later. Police moved in on both Sakari and Chance for their role in the kidnapping and disappearance of Marayna. Sakari had been arrested and charged on Wednesday, December 13th, with her ex-boyfriend, Chance, being arrested just 2 days later in Sacramento, California, where he was being extradited from to be taken back to Nevada. So what part did Chance even play in all this? Well, Chance is a former basketball player who played 2 seasons at the University of Arizona, played 1 game for the NBA's Portland Trail Blazers in April 2023, and he was a player for the Stockton Kings, which is an NBA G League affiliate team of the Sacramento Kings. And the team actually let him go. They fired him on the very same day that he was arrested. He used to date Sakari when they met on a dating app back in 2021, but they broke up at some point, and they were still keeping in touch and remained acquainted. Apparently, Sakari had that 6'10" brother wrapped around her finger because he was obviously willing to do anything for Sakari, including take a chance with his life and trash his entire career. You see, Chance ended up making a full confession to authorities when he sat down with investigators and spilled all the beans on what happened to Marayna. So what happened? Well, apparently Sakari had been displeased with Marayna because it was said that Marayna was going around saying some things about Sakari that could have gotten Sakari sent up based on who she was dealing with. You see, Sakari at the time was dating a 19-year-old Cali rapper who goes by the name EBK Little Play, but his real name is Yosua Satua. Now, EBK is currently being held without bail in a San Joaquin County jail for a double homicide of 2 men in Stockton, California, back in March of 2023, one of the victims being a 29-year-old Stockton rapper, Jay Black. Now, with all that being said, according to what a supposed witness told detectives, and I say supposed witness because some reports say it was Marayna's boyfriend who gave this information to police, but then some reports say it was one of Marayna's friends who told police this information, so I'll just call it a witness to avoid any confusion on who said what. So according to what a witness told police on December 4th, she and Sakari got into a dispute because Sakari confronted Marayna about some things she had been telling people about Sakari. Apparently, Marayna was telling people that Sakari was cooperating with police, telling them all the things that EBK was involved with, which allegedly led to EBK getting locked up for that double homicide charge. Now, furthermore, allegedly, a guy by the name of Garrett confirmed this information to be true. Allegedly, this guy named Garrett confirmed that Marayna did go around telling people this about Sakari, which was not good for Sakari because something like that could have gotten her killed, especially if her man is out here killing folks. Clearly, he allegedly had no regards for any other human life, so he surely wouldn't have any for his own girlfriend. In addition to that, Sakari told Chance that Marayna was allegedly going around telling people that she was going to smoke Sakari over a gold Rolex that she allegedly wanted to take from Sakari. So this is where Chance comes in. Sakari told Chance all of this, and she came up with a plan to kill Marayna, because it wouldn't have sufficed to have a conversation or just simply cut Marayna off. Nah, she had to get rid of Marayna. So instead of doing the dirty work all by herself, she recruited her ex Chance in her plot to kill Marayna, and Chance foolishly agreed to it. Now, initially, Chance tried to hire someone else to do the dirty work for them, and his offer for something as serious as murder was a measly $3,000. But whoever he made this poor offer to wisely declined. So he and Sakari decided they take matters into their own hands, literally. Now, Sakari told Marina that she wanted her to pull up on her to party with her and Chance. In what way they'd be partying is on my membership. I won't discuss that on the main channel, but apparently they were all in the same vehicle together after meeting up at the liquor store. Marina was down for all the partying, and based on how comfortable they got Marina, they were able to get Marina in a pretty compromising position to where she wouldn't physically be able to defend herself. And that's when, while still in the vehicle, Chance pulled out an HDMI cord and began to strangle Marina with the cord for a brief 10 seconds, but then stopped once he heard her struggling to breathe. That's when Sakari stepped in and took over by choking Marina with her bare hands, finishing the job. This is everything that Chance confessed to the investigators. He told police how they drove around looking for somewhere to dump Marina's body, and they found a spot in the desert, so they covered her with rocks and left her body there, showing the police a map of where they left her body. And sure enough, on December 15th, 2023, Las Vegas police found her remains in the desert near Henderson, Nevada, which was identified by the Clark County Coroner's Office. Marina's funeral was held on December 22nd, 2023 at the Lincoln High School Auditorium. Bail for Sakari was set to $500,000 by Las Vegas Justice Judge Diana Sullivan on December 14th. According to the jail records, Chance had a court date scheduled in Sacramento County Court for Tuesday, December 19th with no bail, and a preliminary hearing for Sakari was scheduled for Thursday, December 28th. The charges for both individuals were amended to murder. Sakari was also being charged with theft because remember that Rolex I mentioned earlier? Well, come to find out, the Rolex didn't belong to Sakari. She actually stole that Rolex from someone else earlier in 2023. The theft charge was unrelated to Marina's homicide case. On Tuesday, January 2nd of this year, Chance went in front of a Las Vegas judge for a preliminary hearing to which was pushed back to February. Sakari was back in court on Wednesday, January 3rd, but that was for the theft charge. I'm not sure about her next court date for the kidnapping and murder charges, as I didn't find any updated information about that at this time. When Marina was initially reported missing, Sakari thought she was slick because she tried to cover her own ass by putting a missing persons report in herself for Marina, saying how she was worried about Marina because when Marina supposedly got into the Uber, she was drunk and high off ecstasy and was suffering from a manic bipolar disorder episode. Whole time knowing exactly what she did. When she did finally decide to speak to the investigators herself, she told them that at the end of November's when she and Chance started planning their plot and decided to act on it in December when Chance's team played in Las Vegas. And she was pretty arrogant too because she told him that Chance was madly in love with her and he was willing to do whatever she wanted, and I think we can see that she wasn't lying. I'm so heartbroken for Marina's loved ones to be looking in her face one day, watching her knock down her goals one by one, day by day, to then no longer being able to see her smile or hear her laugh or watch her play with her dogs, to have to mourn her death and know that she will no longer call their phones or answer her phone, to no longer get to hear her laugh. And all this behind an evil plot where once again, a grown-ass man crumbled to the wishes of an emotionally unstable woman. Chance literally threw his entire life and career away for a girl who couldn't even legally buy a drink at the bar if she used her real ID. It's pathetic, and I know he feels like absolute shit because he clearly had a smidge of a conscience if he felt like he couldn't continue to strangle Marayna at the realization of her gasping to take a breath. But for him to have even taken part in this in the first place is despicable. And I know all the hard work his parents put in for him to go through schooling and stay focused on his academics has them so disappointed in their son. And as for Sakari, may God deal with you the way you deserve to be dealt with is all I'll say in regards to that little girl. If you're part of my membership, don't go anywhere yet. I send my deepest condolences to Marayna's family and friends. May Marina Rogers rest in heavenly peace.